Okay, so before we start, I'd just like to thank Dick Sloan from MR2 Roadster Recycling for providing the cloth for today's how-to. So, things you're going to need for this is a cutting mat and your armrests, which you need to pop out the doors of your car. There's another video that I've done that shows you how to do this on door card removals. Take a look at that. You can use foam to add some extra padding, however I personally would advise against it because I did initially start doing that and it looked strange. You'll need a Stanley knife, a pen. I used some carpet glue there, and that's always worked fine for me. And then the red cloth. Now I wanted the arms to match the existing door cards and seats, so MR2 Roadster Recycling, the link to Dick's Facebook page is below. I got those from Dick. So the first thing I'd advise you to do is give the armrests a good scrub, because it's going to have a few years worth of your arm skin all over them on the outside, and on the inside they're going to be covered in dust and all kinds of horribleness, and you need everything to stick to it, so give them a good scrub down with soapy water. Then get some paper and carefully, not as I'm about to do, slide it across as I roll it over there. You'll see, ooh, yeah, that was wrong, so reline that back up, Mark. Carefully make a template of the arm. Now you don't have to do this, it's just for me personally, I find it easier to work from the template with the cloth rather than using the armrest itself for marking things out. So remember that you're not going to be able to necessarily use the same template. You could do, but what you got to remember is that the template is reversed for the other armrest. So make sure you don't make the mistake of using the same side of the same template for the material, if that makes sense. Otherwise it will be cut in reverse and it won't fit the other arm. Let's get your template out. Okay, so if you're going to have two, you'd have one way and then one the other way like that, so you're not going to go wrong with cutting your material. So get your material, and if you're using original cloth from a door card or a seat, I would strongly advise you machine wash it first. I machine washed this and it came up really nice. So when matching this up for marking out the template that you're going to cut, the material, you want about a 5mm, or you can have a little bit more if you don't, you want a little bit more to play with when gluing it around the back, but you want at least a 5mm excess, if you like, all the way around your template, or the armrest if you're just going to use the armrest itself as your template. And what this does is it gives you the little bit of material after you've stuck it on the top to fold over behind and stick behind it, so you get a nice even and neat finish around the edge. If you have too much material, then what happens is at each corner it will start to gather and you'll end up having to cut that away, and I'll show you that a bit later on. So once you've marked that out, either get your scissors or your Stanley knife and just carefully cut the cloth. Now remember to measure or mark twice, cut once, because this cloth's pretty hard to get hold of unless you've got an abundance of red cloth seats or whatever material your seats or interior are made out from. So make sure you've marked that out carefully and then just cut it out. Now on the reverse of the cloth, if you've taken it from a door card, you may find that there's some foam. Now as my son there just provided me with a drink while I'm doing a how-to, thank you. So yeah, so you can see there's the excess, and that's going to fold around the back there once you've stuck it on. But the foam there, you need to take all that foam off, because otherwise it will be all sort of lumpy, and you won't have a smooth finish on the cloth at the top. So whether how you want to do it, I personally carefully used a Stanley blade there, and I didn't cut, I scraped the edge and then peeled it away, and got rid of all of the foam that was necessary for what I needed to be able to then stick those down. So once you've done that, get your glue, and on the back give it a good spray. Now you see on the armrest there, it's got some foam on. I ended up ripping that off and redoing it, but not the video, so we're using that bit of video. Carefully put the armrest on, roll the material on with the glue, and then work, smooth the material over the armrest. Be careful not to get glue on the outer part of the material, and then start working the material around the back of the armrest to make it stick. Now, although you saw me spray that and then immediately put it on, that wasn't what I actually did. I let the glue go off for a bit, because with this particular glue, if you leave it a little bit, it becomes even more sticky and it's easier to work with. So just smooth it on all around, and then start working the material around the back. So once you've done that, you'll end up with this, and there's a few tabs there where the armrest fits in, so just cut them and then smooth the material around those, so you've got a smooth edge for the armrest to fit back into. If it's lumpy along the edges, you're going to have a hard time trying to clip it back into the door card. So try and keep it as flat and as smooth as possible, and at each of those clips just make a small cut on the back part of the material and just smooth it around the door cards. Now at the end of the armrests there, you can see there's some gathering of material, and what I'm doing is I'm snipping that away, not right at the very edge of the armrest where you would see it on the door card, but just in a bit, so it gives me more space to be able to smooth that and glue down on the back of the armrest, so it is flat, because if it's not flat, it's not going to go back in. You will have real trouble trying to put that back in. So that's it. So just cut away the excess that you don't need, and then just press it in. Now you may find that where you're working with it, the glue goes off a bit and it becomes dry, and then it won't stick down, so that's fine. Just peel it back, carefully apply a bit more glue to the back of the material, let it go off for a bit if that's the sort of glue that you're using, and then stick it back in. This is the first time I've done a sort of tabletop type how-to, and you can see I've not quite worked out the fact that whilst it works for me, having it right in front of my face, seeing what I'm doing, if I move it out of the camera you can't actually see, so I'll have to remember that for next time. So this bit does take a little bit of time, but it's well worth it. Now when you do put them back on, they are going to be tighter, because you've lost that bit of tolerance, if you like, from where they clip in. They will go in, and what I would suggest you do is clip the bottom part of the armrest in first, locate that in, and then press the 3 clips along the top in. Don't force it, because you don't want to break them off. They are pretty strong, but don't sort of slam it in with your fist. You should just be able to press them in, but there is a bit more resistance there because you've got the thickness of the material behind it. But what that does do is it does remove the annoying rattle of this armrest. So there we go, that's one armrest done. I'll smooth it out a bit when it's all sticking, and back to the car and put it back on the door card. I was pretty pleased with the result. There's a couple of picks coming up of each side. Now where you see that there with the foam on, it looked weird, so I took it off, and that's just with the material, and that looked a sort of factory type finish. So thanks for watching. I hope you find that useful. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments section, and more videos coming soon, so please subscribe if you think that's useful. Bye for now.